Lynn, I'm in your Theories of Nursing class, and I am upset about how our first test went. The entire class feels that the questions were unfair, and it was a lot of information that you didn't even cover. I feel as though you dumbed down the material during lecture and then put hard questions on the test. I studied very hard for this test, and I feel as though that the grade you gave me doesn't reflect the work that I put in. Please look over the test and give points back. Anna.
Oh goodness, Anna really does seem upset, but this was a very rude email from a student. First of all, Anna doesn't need to call me Lynn. We have a professional relationship, and we're not friends, and we're not peers. So I'll need to correct that first of all. It definitely appears that she's upset about the first test. I'm going to email Anna and ask her to come in during office hours, or I can give her some other choices of times to come in that we can discuss the test. I'm going to ask Anna to bring some specific questions about the test that hopefully I'll be able to help her with some study strategies and some other things. And she mentions that she studied hard for the test and felt like the grade I gave her doesn't reflect the work that she put in. We discussed in orientation that nursing school is a step up, and the teachers don't just give grades. They're not just randomly assigned. So we can also discuss the grading and also what other concerns that Anna might have. So I'm going to email Anna right back and try to clarify.
Dr. Brown, I am in your Theoretical Concepts of Nursing class, and I am disappointed about how I performed on the first test. I received a 78, and while I know this is above the required 73 test average, I feel as though I can do better if I continue to work hard. If possible, I would like to meet with you to discuss study strategies and how I can better prepare for class. I know that your office hours are from 12 to 2 p.m. on Thursdays, but unfortunately, I work during those hours. Can I make an appointment to meet with you at another time you are available? I am available Mondays and Wednesdays from 2 to 5 p.m. and Friday from 7 to 9 a.m. Thank you for your time. I look forward to hearing from you. Sincerely, Meredith.
That is a much better email than the one I got from Anna. Meredith is very respectful, and she calls me Dr. Brown. I really appreciate the tone, and I can tell that Meredith is concerned about her grade, and I'm going to email her back and ask her about some specific questions that I can help her with. Maybe we can even look at the study strategies book and discuss this as well as some of the content. I really like the fact that Meredith told me already that she can't come during office hours because of work, but I'll email her back and tell her some times that work for me, because she was kind enough to tell me some times that worked for her. I really do want to be able to help Meredith, and all of the teachers want to be able to help their students, but I do appreciate the tone of the email.
Hey, Ms. Renfro, you wanted to see me after lab?
I did, Haley. You understand I need to give you an unsatisfactory this morning for lab because you came in 15 minutes late. You were not prepared. You didn't have your materials with you. You weren't dressed appropriately. And so those are the things that we had covered as far as expectations for a lab.
But
so.
a U I feel like is really harsh.
Well, Haley, you know, we have to expect professionalism out of the students because it's important for your future.
I was just having such a bad morning, Ms. Renfro, and I'm so stressed out in nursing school, and I just feel like y'all don't understand how stressful it is, and and unsatisfactory is just too much, I feel like, to put on me.
We do understand. However, we have to make sure that everyone follows those guidelines, and we have to establish strategies and things that we can do routinely to, even when those bad mornings happen, that you can still come in and meet those guidelines. Because mornings, sometimes they're going to be difficult and tough. Things are going to happen unexpectedly.
I guess I can't do anything about it, but this is ridiculous.
Hey, Ms. Renfro, you wanted to see me?
Yes, Anna, I did. I'm going to need to give you unsatisfactory for the clinical, for the lab this morning. You got there 15 minutes late. You didn't have your stethoscope. You weren't dressed appropriately. And those are the things that are essential to being able to get the most out of your experience. So
I understand. It was my fault. I'm so sorry. That was really unprofessional of me. I was just having a tough morning. And do you have any strategies or anything for me?
I absolutely do. I have some tips and some pointers that I think you could use every day before prepping for clinical that I think might help you. I'd be more than happy to sit down with you and talk about that, and we'll establish a great strategy that'll keep you from really having, even when those bad mornings happen, it'll get you through it.
Awesome.
Okay?
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Dr. Curtis, so
Can you open that door back up, please?
why?
I don't meet with students with doors closed.
Okay. Well, so I'm really upset with how I did on test 1. I was wondering what you could do to help me out with test 2, because I just am really upset. It was not as easy as I thought it was going to be, and it just was really upsetting.
Okay. How did you prepare for exam 1?
I guess I didn't really study because I just had a lot going on, and your classes are just so long, and it's hard to pay attention, but I was just wondering if you could give me any test questions or a study guide or anything like that.
Your study guide is the unit objectives, and if you go back to your syllabus, you have unit objectives for every exam, for every every lecture that we have in class. Are you on your phone? Can you please put that away? Are you on your phone in class as well? Because that could be part of the problem, is that you're not paying attention.
I just need to know what's on the test, really.
I can't tell you what's on the test, just like I can't tell you what's on the HESI or NCLEX. So use the unit objectives as part of your study guide and start taking notes and paying attention in class.
All right, well, thank you for your help, I guess. I guess it was kind of helpful, but...
Oh, I'm sorry that you feel that way. And next time, if you can get here on time and dress a little more professional and not like you just rolled out of the bed.
Well, I did, and that's why I came dressed like this, but thanks.
Hey, come in.
Hi, Dr. Curtis. Hello. Thank you so much for meeting with me. I really appreciate you taking the time to meet with me. I was just coming in to say that I took your advice for test 2, and I still didn't do quite as well as I thought. So I was going to see if there was any additional advice that you could give me.
Well, how did you prepare for exam 2?
So I reread through all the notes. I went through the textbook a lot. I did a lot of the practice questions from that. And I just tried a lot harder to pay attention in class and really absorb some of the stuff that you were saying instead of me focused on getting down all the notes.
Okay, so you are taking notes now.
Yes.
You're doing the end of the chapter, resources online. What about your purple book, your test taking strategies?
That's the one thing I haven't done yet. I was going to ask you about it.
Okay. Your test taking strategies book has a lot of good resources for you, because I looked back at your exam and it looks like you're getting it narrowed down to 2 questions and you're just picking the wrong answer. So if you go back to your purple book, there's some strategies for that. And they also have some practice questions, but I think you're doing all the right things. Are you reading the textbook?
I am. I think maybe I should spend more time reading the textbook and less time going through the notes, but yeah, thank you. That's a really good suggestion.
Absolutely.
I think I'll try that out.
Well, I'm glad that you did better on exam 2, and I think if you do some more practice questions, then exam 3 you'll do even better than that. I appreciate you getting here early this time, and you're dressed more appropriately, and I think if you implement all these things that we've talked about, I think that you'll do well.
Okay. Well, thank you so much again for meeting with me.
You're
I know you've got a
welcome.
crazy busy schedule, but this is super helpful.
You're welcome.
Thank
you for coming by.
Have a good day.
You too.